One of my mantras is I'm walking in the moonlight. Whenever I feel afraid, unsure, sad, unclear, or off track, I repeat it to myself. No matter how lost I am and no matter how dark it gets, I remind myself that I'm still walking in the moonlight. There is always light and comfort shining down on me, lighting my way even when I don't know where I'm going, even when everything else is obscured from my knowing. I trust that the moon is there every night, even all day long. I remind myself that what I need will come, a new day will follow. I just need to keep walking in the moonlight and have faith. I genuinely believe that we have what we need inside us, but it takes work to find it. It takes work to let ourselves show up fully in all the ways that we need to. And when we can't get to within ourselves, we will be guided. I believe that the helpers will show up, the teachers will come, the supporters will be there with a shoulder to lean on, but we have to keep moving towards them, walking in faith, putting one foot in front of the other, even when it's dark and we're afraid. I started writing this book as a gift to myself and as a hurry up and hit your goals because you're now 50. My own midlife crisis, if you will. While everything I've experienced has equipped me for where I am today, the journey of writing this book was such a reminder that the learning never ends. And for me, somehow, that always seems to be expressed through my health. Just as I was getting to the end of this book, wouldn't you know that COVID decided to test me and help to make sure that I could practice what I preach. When I was close to finishing, when I was down to that last chapter and my first edits, I caught COVID. It had already taken me longer to write with juggling work, family, and volunteer obligations, and it felt like a huge setback. After 54 days of fever, it was clear that I was in long-haul COVID territory. I was frustrated, mad, sad, disappointed, and at times bitter. I have no idea how I caught it, as is the case for many people. I had done very little, but the few things I had done I regretted. I succumbed to everything I had written about, that somehow I actually had control over life and this highly contagious virus. I knew logically that it was surging wildly and was a numbers game, but I kept thinking, how did I get it, and what could I have done differently? I was reminded of how hard it is to stay positive when you feel beaten down and are sick and are unwell. COVID is called a novel virus because there's so much that we don't know about it yet. But for me, there was nothing novel about the experience of one more protracted, debilitating, and chronic illness. And that, doll, was depressing. I saw the pain and struggle others were having in my long hauler support groups on social media. Many weeks I would log on and someone in one of the groups was suicidal. I was hit with the reminder of just how devastating the loss of health can be. How much not knowing when things would shift can bring us to our knees with fear. I was saddened by the accounts of friends and family who did not believe the profound fatigue and brain fog and myriad symptoms people had many months after their initial illness. I've seen it over and over in one chronic illness group after another. It hurt my heart and it weighed on my mind. It made me even more determined to get this book finished as soon as my energy returned. But getting better had me doubling back through all the lessons I have learned and shared with you. I had to let go of work and productivity and give in to rest. My business had been thriving, so sidelining work brought up old pain and fears and deep disappointment. I had my down days and my fits and starts, and parts of me are still healing, but I got through it just like I have everything else, and I hope that gives my long hauler, newly minted chronic illness warriors hope. Things do get better, they do shift, and sometimes the new normal holds blessings in disguise. Your struggles, your shifts, your changes, and your challenges are creating the next version of your life in ways that may not yet make sense. Do not despair. I wouldn't choose a life of chronic illness, but it shaped me into the person I am and given me a perspective I don't know that I could have found any other way. So thank you for letting me share it with you. And thank you all for being here to share and celebrating this with me. And I want to just make a toast to all of you, because life's tough, but we're tougher. Cheers.